Hi, Steve Stine from GuitarZoom here, and today what I'd like to do is show you 3 must-know blues licks that I'd like you to try and add to your playing today, okay? Now we're going to look at each lick, but more importantly, we're going to break down some of the most important elements of each lick so you can extract this idea, or these little ideas that we're going to be studying, and use those in your own playing, okay? So the first lick that we've got here is just a descension lick. I'm going to be moving towards the ceiling like this. But there's some subtle elements that I want you to think about. Okay, the first one is the bending that I'm doing. I have 2 different bends that I'm going to be focusing on. The second thing is the vibrato that I'm using, and then the third thing is the slide that ends the phrase at the end. So as I play this lick, the first thing I have is this bend on the 7th fret. It's called a whole step bend, and I want to make sure that I'm bending it high enough. I'm bending it in tune. But the second part of that is I want to make sure that I'm spending enough time on it to where it's important for a listener. Instead of just bending and taking off right away, which is perfectly fine, what I'm doing is I'm bending it up and I've got this slow descension so you hear that bend coming back down. So instead of being in a hurry, I want you to hear that whole bend, not only the bend upward, but bringing it back down nice and slow. Then what I'm going to do is head over to the 5 of the 3rd string, and I'm going to do what's called a blues bend. And what I do is play that note, and then right before I leave, I give it just a little twist, and then I head over to the 7th fret of the 4th string, which is my A or my root that I'm soloing in. So I have, see? So right before I leave, I give that string just a little twist, and then head over to that A, and now I'm adding this vibrato on. I'm settling in on this A because it sounds good over the chord. And then I'm ending it with that little slide, which brings everything to a stop, and it ends the phrase. Okay? So little things like that, not just playing the lick, which is perfectly fine, but some of the other things that you can actually see and you can hear and figure out how to use those in your playing. Okay? The second lick, what I'm going to do is I'm going to head up and do this. Now, there's 2 different things here to focus on. Well, 3 really. The first thing is I've got this bend, a whole step bend, similar to what I did down in lick number 1. But with this bend, what I'm doing is bending it up a whole step, and then I'm dipping it back down and bringing it back up. Okay? And it takes a little while to get used to that sound and execution of the lick, but it sounds really, really great. Now, once I do that little bend, I'm going to add a vibrato onto the bend itself. And then I'm going to end it with that fast little tag there, just because it changes the tempo of everything that I've been playing right now. Everything, instead of it just being right here, I end it with a little bit different rhythm. Okay? And then the 3rd lick comes in. Now the 3rd lick starts like the first lick. It's just a descension. I'm moving towards the ceiling, descension in pitch. Now I'm playing it a little bit faster because, again, I'm trying to make these 3 licks a little different from each other. It would not have to be fast, okay? But it is kind of fun to play. So I'm descending the lick, and then when I move toward the floor and I ascend in pitch, what I'm going to do is add in some new notes that I'm actually borrowing from the major pentatonic. So it sounds like this. Okay, so I'm just descending minor pentatonic here, and then I'm going to ascend playing 5-6, 5-7, and then 5-8. So it looks like this. Now, I have a guitar course called All About Blues Licks that's going to look at all of these licks and a bunch of different other licks. But more importantly, it's going to break down what's most important about these licks and teach you kind of how to approach these from your perspective that works best for you, okay? So if you get a chance and you're interested, check out All About Blues Licks, and make sure you have a great day, stay positive, and keep practicing.